Good evening. I would like to call the City of Oldsmar City Council meeting of Tuesday, April 3rd, 2018 to order. If you'll please rise for our invocation and our pledge that will be led by our City Attorney, Mr. Tom Trask.
Heavenly Father, as the citizens of the City of Oldsmar meet together to address our local concerns and opportunities, we give thanks to you for the bounty that we enjoy in all aspects of our community life. We ask for your inspiration to strive for excellence in our endeavors to serve the public. Grant us peace in our world and harmony between all people to your greater glory. This we pray.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
You know these kids?
I heard them all. That's great. The kids outdid us tonight.
I think so.
Well, welcome. It's kind of a great night for us. This is one of our fun council meetings. By a show of hands, how many people have never been to a city council meeting, adults included? Oh, you've been to a city council meeting? Yeah.
I remember you.
I remember you. Well, welcome. We'll try and make it somewhat entertaining. Sometimes it breaks out in a fight up here, but probably not tonight. So our first item is our Citizens Open Forum. It allows you to address the City Council. We ask that you just follow a couple rules, state your name and address clearly for the record. Keep it to no more than 5 minutes, and I do not see any public hearing items on the agenda, so you can speak towards anything on tonight's agenda. Having said this side of the room, I'll let you, Gator, let her go first. Jerry Antozzi.
Jerry Antozzi, 509 Shore Drive East. As the Oldsmar Historical Society curator, I just wanted to let you all know that Patty and Wayne Hyde from Gullair Village donated some neat items today to the Oldsmar Historical Society Museum. And for the kids that are here, you come by and visit. Usually if we're here on council meeting nights, we're open at night. The rest of the time, unless you have a field trip, ask your teacher to have a field trip.
And just for the parents, you can explain to your kids what an Oldsmobile is later on, and tell them that we are founded after the Oldsmobile, and then you can tell them what an 8-track tape player is too.
Yes, we don't have the 8-track tape player in the museum, no. But Wayne and Patty Hyde donated relatives' Oldsmobile memorabilia, and one, Frederick L. Forrester, was Man of the Year for the Oldsmobile company, and he was given a watch. And it's 10-carat watch with the Oldsmobile Man of the Year wording on it. I showed Council Member Jerry Bierlin. He gave 2 sets of cufflinks, and one is the 1901 Curved Dash, which was I've never seen before, and the other one had the Oldsmobile logo on it. The Curved Dash.
The Rocket 98.
The Rocket 98. And for the kids in the audience, if you go across to City Hall, some of you that had the fake council meeting, you went over to City Hall, right? And saw what city government does. Well, they have the Curved Dash, a replica, the 1901 Curved Dash that's over there, and that's what these cufflinks are, right here, that we were given. Also, we always get memorabilia from Jerry Bierlin. So tonight he dropped off a book, Meta and Ari Oles, Loves, Lives, and Labors by Patricia Hayden. And he actually showed me the page that's highlighted. It shows he was interviewed and what he said for the book. So anyway, we had the museum open this weekend, and I'd like to compliment the hard work that was done for the Drive Electric. Very, very neat. We had a lot of people stop in the museum as well. And Eastlake High School, Honor Society, they were all over helping too in the museum. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing that. Yep, Gator.
I'm Steve Gator Black, 2010 Hudson Court. I have a poem here that miraculously appeared in my folder this evening, one that had been lost to the world for a while. This is by Councilman Bieberland. And it says, our nation was founded in blood, sweat, and tears, a hope for liberty, void from all tyrannical fears. Represented by the red, white, and blue is our banner of freedom and peace, our divine resemblance never to cease, our God-given origin under the stars with honor. We pledge never to mar. Gary Beaver.
Well done.
Thank you.
Jerry.
Good job, Jerry.
And I will put this where
He read everybody else's and he lost mine.
Well, he read everyone that he had actually received, because I think he was still missing one.
Mayors.
We're still missing,
Make that well known, but the mayor hasn't written one yet.
Oh, it's in my other suit. Car.
and this is one that I hope will go far. It's called the Gem of Tampa Bay. Sunlight glistens on the water, warm breezes gently sway the trees. The shadows from the branches seem to dance across the roadway. Laughter issues from a park as children play their games. Walkways painted with blue butterflies mark the entrance to a park. A young couple strolls hand in hand down the broad parkway. Seniors sit rocking on the front porch. You can watch a baseball game or a soccer match or even racers speeding around the track. Kayaks drift among the mangroves, while overhead adventurers try their hand at the zip line. There is even a garden in one corner of a park where the lush organic vegetables grow. City leaders show up at every event to share the friendliness of the town. This is Oldsmar, the gem of the Bay.
And for those that have never been here before, Gator is the City of Oldsmar's poet laureate, and what he was referring to was he gave us an assignment. I think he gave it to us last week, I think.
This time? Before
Yeah,
Christmas.
something like that.
Oh, before Christmas, my
something
bad,
like that.
sorry.
You know, last week.
Yeah. And he gave us about a dozen or so words to work into a poem, so that was great. So thank you for sharing with us tonight. Anybody else on this side of the room? Yep, I saw a hand. I'm not sure who it's connected to. Oh, yes, Tony.
My name is Tony Gross, 711 Satin-Leaf Avenue, Oldsmar. And boys and girls, this is a great place to come and tell our community leaders what a great job they're doing. So I'll begin with that tonight. And you just said something, I'm going to borrow something from that poem that you read, that our city leaders come to all of the events. So I am extending an invitation to our city leaders and the young people and families of our community to attend an event coming up in May. And of course, May is a pretty busy month with Memorial Day and all kinds of other events. But May the 19th at the library, and I want to stop here and thank the library in advance. This will be the third year, I believe, that we have hosted the Remembering Florida's Fallen War Memorial exhibit. So May the 19th at 11 a.m. in the Tico room at the library will be a ribbon cutting event for our Remember Florida's Fallen War Memorial photo exhibit that will be held in the foyer and part of the library. So we hope y'all will come out 11 o'clock, May the 19th. This is a free and open event. And then afterwards, Frankie's Patriot Barbecue, is that right? This is no surprise to you. We'll be catering a luncheon for those who attend this. So hope to see you all there.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else on this side of the room? Anybody on this side of the room? Seeing nobody? Anybody in the room in general that I might have missed? We'll close the Citizens Open Forum. Real quickly, the Mayor's Minute, a couple of recap items. Oldsmar Days and Nights. It was a great job by the Upper Tampa Bay Chamber of Commerce on another successful event. The numbers aren't in, but the weather was beautiful all weekend, so looking for great numbers out of them. The trail art ribbon cutting, unfortunately, I was not able to make it. Thank you to the Vice Mayor for stepping in. Congratulations to the North Pinellas Cultural Alliance on the newest art installment in Oldsmar, and if you want to check it out, it's right at the trailhead at Sheffield Park. We mean business that we hook up with the chamber, the Upper Tampa Bay Chamber of Commerce, the city manager and myself. In March, we visited Cantor and Associates, Air Zone Air Conditioning, and the new Earth Fair that's been open about 6 months. Drive Electric Tampa Bay, as was mentioned earlier, Oldsmar partnered with Dunedin for this event. Great job, once again, putting Oldsmar on the map for our sustainability efforts. Oldsmar Cares grand opening turnout, great turnout for the ribbon cutting on Saturday. Congratulations to them on their new facility. It's the yellow one right there on 580. A couple of upcoming events and reminders. Mayor's Challenge for Water Conservation is going on now through the end of April. You can take the pledge at mywaterpledge.com. Just make sure that you put that you're from Oldsmar, Florida, and we'll get credit for that. Annual Oldsmar Cup race, that is this coming Sunday, the 8th, from 12 to 5 o'clock at Tampa Bay Downs. Free admission for Oldsmar residents. All you'd have to do is have some form of proof that you are a resident. Do we know yet when our race is, or have we not yet heard? They'll eventually will let us know which race is ours on that day. Relay for Life at North Pinellas. Storybook thing, that is next Friday, April 13th, 6 to midnight at the Oldsmar Sports Complex. First time this is a North Pinellas with Oldsmar, Safety Harbor, Tarpon Springs, and Palm Harbor communities coming together to relay. This year's city employees relay team will be Alice in Wonderland. Also, the first tug of war between the fire departments will be, oh, that'll be great, will be a sight to see. And then finally, annual paper shredding and recycling day. That is Friday, April 20th, from 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. at the East Lot next to City Hall. Free electronic recycling, medication disposal, and paper shredding, limit of 5 boxes. We had a great turnout last year, thanks to Deb and all the city employees for their efforts on that. That wraps up the mayor's minute. Our first item is our consent docket. We have a few items. Approve the minutes of the March 20th, 2018 City Council meeting. Authorize the city manager to advertise, 2018-005-ITB State Road 580 Landscape Rehabilitation, FPID 440207-1-58-01. And the third item is approve the tentative agenda for the April 17th meeting. If nobody wishes to pull anything, I need a motion.
Vote.
Second?
Second.
Motion and a second. All those in favor?
Yes.
Aye. Passes 5-0. Thank you. Next is the City of Oldsmar. Appoint John Andrew Cambanis from alternate member to regular member for the Leisure Services Advisory Board. Are we here tonight? Mm-hmm. Yep, come on up. Thanks for coming. I think most of us have met you, but for the audience, we like to have our new board members come before the council and introduce themselves. You're fairly new to the city, right?
Correct.
Okay, I think we went through this.
Yeah, we moved here 4 years ago.
Okay, good. Have you been active as an alternate? Have they gone to the bench yet?
Well, they've always made us feel like permanent members, so we've been very lucky that way.
Awesome.
So.
Well, that's good. Anybody have any questions for him?
Thank you for serving.
Of all the boards, you're on probably one of the funner, less stressful boards, so people don't tend to hate you on the Leisure Services Board, so.
No offense to anybody else who's on any of the other boards.
Yeah.
Maybe.
It's an honor. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, and we look forward to some great work. Thank you. I need a motion to approve.
So moved.
Second. Motion in a second. All those in favor?
Yes.
Aye. 5-0.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you for coming. And for those of us that have served on those,
Yeah, I've served on those other boards. so-
I'm not far from off, am I?
Yeah.
No.
And this is an exciting one. Item number 5, award the Drop Savers Poster Contest winners. And this will be a team of us that will do this, so I will come on down. I'm always excited to see the artwork. You are reading the names, you're giving the bags, and I just stand here. Uh-oh. Oh.
We'll figure it out. It'll be okay. All right, this award ceremony tonight is to award students from the Oldsmar Elementary School and Forest Lakes Elementary Schools for their participation in the American Waterworks Association Drop Savers Poster Contest. This is a contest that's conducted every year, and we distribute around 575 posters to both elementary schools. And so we have winners in 3 divisions for each school. So we'll start with Oldsmar Elementary. And I will ask that we'll come up one at a time, but be brief. And then at the end, I'll call you all back and we'll do a group photo together. Does that work?
That's fine with me.
All right. So first place, Division 1 for Oldsmar Elementary, Preston Nair.
Here's his artwork. Let's look at it. This is their artwork, and then we have it transferred to the bags for him. You did that, right? There you go, Preston.
How's that photo up?
Second place, Division 1, Madeline Hall.
Madeline, make every drop count. Very well done. So he's in there for you.
Third place, Division 1, Savannah Luna.
So cute.
He's gonna wear that same headdress.
First place, Division 2, Trinity Reed. All right, Trinity is not here tonight.
Thank you.
Second place, Division 1, Daniela Anselmo. Third place, Division 2, Elise Fernandez. First place, Division 3, Nevaeh Johnson. Second place, Division 3, Emma Glaser.
Somebody else all of a sudden. Very cool. Keep water flowing. Very good. Oh, picture.
Third place, Division 3, Memory Ellis.
Kids today have such cool names, memories. They got names like Doug and Jerry, Al, Aaron.
You can go ahead and stay here. If all of the Oldsmar Elementary students would like to come up, we'll do a one group shot. Come on.
No, beautiful, cute.
Represent.
Good?
Any parents?
Anybody want a shot while we're here?
I'll take it.
Since you offer.
Right. It's all good.
I'll add this to the collection and ever print.
I'll make sure that the mayor.
Of course.
All right. Thank you very much. Mentioned before we go on to do Forest Lakes Elementary that the kids won water bottles, the recyclable piggy banks. They also won a few other goodies, including gift cards to Michael's to buy art supplies, which is really cool. And their artwork is going to be featured in our Water Conservation Art Challenge in City Hall starting in May. So that'll be really great.
Awesome.
All right. For Forest Lakes Elementary, first place Division 1, Joanna Colon.
Joanna.
That's a good April Fool's.
There's her bag.
Cute.
One drop could save our thirsty world. Very nice.
Second place, Division 1, Braden Stubbs.
Oh, very cool. A lifesaver on a water drop, huh?
Cute.
I could throw that.
You got it?
You pop, I got pictures over here.
He's torn right now.
All right. First place, Division 2, Isabella Jackson.
Isabella.
Very cool. Save water. Nice. Congratulations. There you go. Hold your thing. Over there. Get right.
Second place, Division 2, Michael Bordenaro.
Let's see. Making me feel underdressed. Very cool.
That's not hard to do.
We go, Mike. Nice job.
Third place, Division 2, Olivia Roche. All right. First place, Division 3, Marcus Acosta.
Congratulations. Hey, look at all that color. Very cool. Oh, there's a picture right here. I think unless she's just taking pictures of random kids.
Second place, Division 3, Giovanni Covelli Wang.
That's cool. A warrior, huh? Nice. A water warrior. Is that what he is?
Wait, turn it, yeah, turn it
Upside down. Yeah.
Upside down.
Third place in Division 3, Andrew Kilgore.
Oh my God, she is the cutest thing ever.
Oh, back here first.
Got mom over there.
I would like to acknowledge the staff and teachers at Forest Lakes and Oldsmar Elementary for helping share this with their students and get their students excited about water conservation. So this wouldn't have been possible without them.
Team picture?
And all of you come back up for a group picture.
We have Braden in
Yeah, Forest
picture.
Lakes.
Forest Lakes, come on up.
Braden, over here, get yours.
Get your individual
Let's
picture.
take your picture, man. Braden, over here, man. You get in both of them?
You can take both. You can stay.
Get in the team photo. Good boy.
Traffic over there, Al?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be making Bless you.
Get a picture of
Nice. Buzz, you'll get your turn.
Okay, everybody look at me now. There you go.
Oh, sorry.
The big kid.
Yeah, we can control.
Congratulations.
Nice job.
That's actually the two goes.
Our next item is the presentation of National Library Week proclamation, and I'll go ahead and read that. National Library Week, whereas libraries are not just about what they have for people, but what they do for and with people, and whereas libraries have long survived as trusted and treasured institutions, and library workers and librarians fuel efforts to better their communities, campuses, and schools, and whereas librarians continue to lead the way in leveling the playing field for all who seek information and access to technologies, and whereas libraries and librarians look beyond their traditional role and provide transformative opportunities for education, employment, entrepreneurship, empowerment, and engagement, as well as new services that connect closely with patrons' needs, and whereas libraries are pioneers supporting democracy and affecting social change with a commitment to providing equitable access to information for all library users, regardless of race, ethnic, creed, ability, sexual orientation, gender identity, or socioeconomic status. And whereas libraries lead in working with diverse communities, including people of color, immigrants, and people with disabilities, offering services and educational resources that transform communities, open minds, and promote inclusion and diversity. And whereas libraries, librarians, library workers, and supporters across America are celebrating National Library Week. Therefore, I, Doug Beavis, Mayor of the City of Oldsmar, Florida, do hereby proclaim the week of April 8th through 14th, 2018 as National Library Week in the City of Oldsmar, and encourage all residents to visit the library this week and explore what's new at your library, and engage with your librarian because of you and our library leaders. Libraries transform. Dated this, the 3rd day of April 2018. Doug Beavis, Mayor, and I will give it to our library director, Ms. Susan Purley. So, she has a lot to say today. Oh, you may have lucked out. Oh, check 1, 2, check 1, 2. Check 1, 2, check 1, 2. And so we have this.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Doug.
I'll pay the price.
Mayor, and the rest of the council, thank you for acknowledging National Library Week. And I want to encourage everyone who's here to come out to the library next week and see what we have to offer, and I hope to see you at the library.
Do we have any exhibits or anything that are coming? Or?
We have the Remembering Florida's Fallen in May.
Is that okay?
Yes,
yeah.
Okay. We have that in May. We have our story times every week. We have tax help for the next week. If you're not finished yet, you can stop by on Tuesday or Wednesday and get your taxes done. And you can check out our website for more information. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And you know, Susan, I think that was so powerful. They were all leaving to go to the library. Bucking it right out.
Hold on a second, photo.
Take a picture by myself. I'm done. Okay, now to the more important stuff, the business. Congratulations to all the kids, too. That was great. Good turnout. Our next is our city attorney.
Yes, item number 7 on your agenda is to consider the settlement of a couple of code enforcement liens on the property located at 4070 Tampa Road. These are code enforcement liens that came about for cases that occurred in 2008 and 2012 for failure to obtain a building permit to do some asphalt repair work on the property. The fine at this point is approximately the principal is $14,350. The total due as of this point is $23,038.55. I've been talking with the property owner for some time, trying to get the case resolved. He has made an offer to settle the case at $10,000. The $10,000 would be paid in 4 monthly installments, with the first one starting April 1st. I have received the first payment of $2,500. I'm holding in trust until you give me authorization to accept this offer of settlement. The property itself has no equity in it. We would not be foreclosing the lien because the property has no equity in it. The company has no other assets that we've been able to find. So I think that receiving about 50% on this code enforcement lien is a settlement that we should accept. And on behalf of the city, I'm asking, the city attorney's office, I'm asking for you to give me the authority to do that.
All right, for the purpose of discussion, I need a motion.
I'll make a motion to accept.
Second?
Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion on this item?
Only this, I've asked for this before and won't ask for it again. First of all, I want to thank Tom. All the money you've collected that we really couldn't collect, but because of your efforts, we have collected. I'd like, now this is not what I asked for before. I'd like to know how much money you have collected over the last, I don't know, 5 years maybe, 10 years.
I don't know the answer to that
I
question.
know you don't, but if you could get that back to us.
Okay. Most of the work is done by the city clerk's office and the code enforcement planning department. And so, you know, my aspect of it is the very back end, that it's based upon all the work done by those departments before it gets to
Yeah,
me.
but when you walk in and they all fear you're an attorney for the city of Oldsmar.
Okay.
I'd like to know how many fines we still have out there.
We have that list. The city clerk's office has it, and we can provide that to you. Ann and
Please
Kathy
do that.
keep that up to date. And so we can provide that to you, the council as well.
Okay, thank you, Tom.
Any other questions, comments?
No.
Discussion?
Great job, Tom.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Passes 5-0. Thank you. Anything else?
That's it, thank you.
Thank you. City manager.
Thank you, Mayor. Item 8, adopt resolution 2018-07, supporting the designation of bridge numbers 150202 and 150203 on State Road 580 and Main Street in Pinellas County as Gold Star Family Memorial Bridge dedicated to U.S. Army Corporal Frank Robert Gross. I'd like to read this. I'd be an honor to read the resolution in title only. A resolution of the City Council of the City of Oldsmar, Florida, supporting the designation of bridge numbers 150202 and 150203 on State Road 580 and Main Street, Pinellas County, as Gold Star Family Memorial Bridge dedicated to U.S. Army Corporal Frank Robert Gross, and providing for an effective date hereof.
Need a motion?
Yeah, I need a motion to approve.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Second. Discussion on this item. Do we have a time frame on when they might do what they might do?
I'm not sure, maybe Mrs. Gross knows that. I'm not sure of how quick the turnaround is, but Safety Harbor passed theirs yesterday, and I think, Tony, want to come up? I'm not sure what they told me as far as how quickly it'll happen, but.
Tony Gross, 711 Santon Leaf Avenue. I did meet with Safety Harbor commissioners last night, and they did adopt and sign the resolution. I do have a copy of that here if you'd like to have that. As far as from here on, my understanding is that I submit the approved, the signed resolutions to Trent Phillips, Jamie Grant's aide, and I also submit them to the Florida Department of Transportation as well. So the three of us kind of work in conjunction on this, and as far as when the signage will go up, I don't know. It would be nice if it could happen this year, but I don't know.
Yeah, and let me know, and anybody up here, if we need to. I know they have their process that they have to go through, but yeah, we'll definitely, if we need to lean on somebody, we can do that. So, very nice.
Trent actually brought it up to me at Oldsmar Days, just to see what was
Yes,
that.
he did say that he spoke with, I think, Cliff over at Safety Harbor and you as well. But Craig and I just would like to thank you for supporting this. And it really is an honor and a blessing. And we just wanted something that would remind people of the service of our active duty military, as well as those who have died, and to honor the families who have sacrificed so much. And I think Oldsmar does that very well. And now Safety Harbor is kind of on board with that too, as they saw the presentation of pictures last night. I just didn't want to get before them and say, this is in memory of a soldier. So we showed them the pictures of Frankie, and and I just brought up some highlights, and the fact that Our son used to drive the 12-mile round trip, and our family used to ride our bikes 12 miles across the Oldsmar Safety Harbor Bridge to the Taco Bell in Safety Harbor to have chalupas, and then we would go to Philippi Park. And in addition to that, an interesting piece of information was a casualty assistant officer, who was an officer who was assigned to our family for 6 months after Frank's death. She also lived in Safety Harbor, so there's a really awesome military connection that she served our family well for 6 months. And I don't know what we would have done without her, and the Army continues to support this family. So in honor of our Gold Star families, in memories of Frank, and to remember and honor our military personnel, thank you so much for doing that.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Yep.
Doug, there's a sign here that says, "Do not pick up the microphone, it breaks easily."
It's on that side, though.
Yeah.
It's on that side.
But Tony and I are, we're indebted to this city in more ways than one. You have continually showed your unwavering support, not only for Corporal Frank Robert Gross, who gave the full measure for our country, but also for us and for all veterans. This is an amazing veteran-centric city. And every time I go down to our Veterans Park and sit there on Frankie's bench or whatever, and I look at all the people who have served our country from this small town, it just gives me tremendous honor to live here and to be a part of this great community. And I think we have one of the best darn city councils that America has also, and we thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you for the kind words.
And thank you for your hard work in getting this all the way through the process, because it matters, obviously. So.
Not everything makes it through the process, as we know, so, yeah, that was great.
And will I be getting a certified copy from you and electronically and a hard copy? And then or you'll submit that to Trent? I will do it too, and I'll submit it to the liaison for the Florida Department of Transportation. We'll just hope that it happens sometime this year, and we'll have a grand dedication ceremony.
Yeah, I don't know why it wouldn't, so. Sooner rather than later, they make their own sign. So I don't know if there's some process that they have to go through, but whatever it is, we'll stay on top of it.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you, Jerry.
Motion and a second. And all those in favor? Aye. Passes 5-0. Congratulations. Anything else?
That's it, sir.
City Clerk?
Nothing tonight.
Nothing tonight. Wow. And you know, we've always attributed how quickly we get out of meetings to somebody particularly not being here. I think last time we attributed it to Mr. Seidel not being here, I think, that we got out quickly.
No, it wasn't me.
Oh, it wasn't? I don't know who it was, but somebody, we always blame it on them not being here that we get done early.
Certainly wasn't me.
But now with all of us here, we are probably, hopefully, well.
We were all early
Council
tonight.
I haven't talked to Jerry yet. Haven't heard his council comments. So let's go to council comments and we'll start quickly with you.
Here we are.
Whoa, wow.
Well, there were no debates tonight.
What is going on? Curveball. You got American Idol or something to watch? Let's go, The Voice? He doesn't even know what those are.
I have no idea what that is.
Okay. Councilmember McGee.
I have nothing, thank you.
Councilmember Saraki.
Wow. Well, I just want to say what you just mentioned, American Idol. I don't know if you guys, anybody here watches it. Did you see the girl, Kayla Robinson, age 17 from Oldsmar High School, one of the Oldsmar High Schools? It didn't say on TV, but she made it to the Hollywood group round on American Idol, and she was just cut Tuesday night, and I thought she should have made it. She did great.
I thought so too. I said to my wife, they're cutting Oldsmar.
Yeah, she was in the background harmonizing. She sounded fantastic. Yeah. So I just wanted to give a shout out to her and congratulations on making it that far, because I'm pretty impressed.
I watched it, but I missed that.
They had
yeah, and I was like, Oldsmar, Florida. I kept rewinding it, and she sounded great, but unfortunately, she got cut. And the last thing I have is this Saturday at Hennessy's, we have the Relay for Life Team Too Fit to Quit Cornhole Tournament. And if anybody would like to join us, it starts at 2 p.m. to 5. We still have some teams available. The mayor will be there. on Saturday, doing some announcing of giving away Jello shots and other things and prizes.
Family event.
Another thing is I guess the Relay for Life just had a contest this past week as far as funds of, what team has, actually accumulated the most funds. And my wife's team, Paula, Too Fit to Quit, is in first place.
There you go.
So I thought that was pretty neat, but if anybody would like to come out this Saturday from 2 to 5 p.m., cornhole tournament, and that's all I have, Mayor.
Thank you. Mr. Vice Mayor.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Just a couple of comments. Oldsmar Days, great event. Once again, the parade, all the extra work that goes into it. I know that staff puts a lot of work into it as well, and the beads and getting us all set up and organized so it doesn't go unappreciated or unnoticed, as well as all the work the chamber puts into the event. Also wanted to thank Al and Ann and Gabby and Gina and the mayor who were able to make it out to work the city booth. Dan was in recovery mode, so we let him off.
From his knee.
Yeah, and so, from his knee. I should clarify that after his Jello shot comment. I don't know. But anyhow, appreciate it. I know the chamber really appreciates us going out there and helping out. And of course, the mayor, he's actually pretty much working it the whole weekend by doing his whole radio announcing stuff. And anyhow, congratulations to Oldsmar Cares on their grand opening. It was terrific. Lots of folks who came out, and I know a bunch were over at Tampa Bay Electric Tampa Bay. I can't seem to get it. Thank you. So over here, and then people went over there, and so it was nice. It was a good, active weekend. I didn't make the Easter egg hunt because if you're like 5 minutes late, don't bother going because those kids wipe out those eggs so fast.
And they'll mow you over.
Yeah. So that's all I had. I did have one other thing on a more important note. I know we all got the email earlier today from the woman on the Rays Stadium. I know, kind of out of left field. But it does make me think that it probably makes sense for us to take that webpage down at this point.
Well, I don't even know if we have.
Yeah, we have the Rays Stadium, or is it the Oldsmar Stadium page? That's still up. Probably take that down. I would say it's time.
Where's that
from?
Well, they referenced it, but.
Well,
I know.
Is it even there?
I don't know.
No, I looked at it. There's still a page up.
Okay.
So it should come down. But that's all I got, Mr. Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you. And to your point, to piggyback on 2 of your points, the Oldsmar Days Parade, and thanks to the Oldsmar Club of America that or Florida, or whichever one it is, that provides us with all of our cars, and some of these are some classics that we're stomping all over, and the guy's like, stand in my seat, whatever you want to do. And
I take my shoes off.
Yeah.
Or socks.
Yeah. So thanks to those guys for doing all that and repeatedly supporting it, and to your Oldsmar Cares also. Thank you, without naming names, thank you to all the businesses that really stepped forward with some major donations to make that thing work. It really just shows what kind of a community we have, that the businesses, do want to be a part of what we've got going on, whether it's events at our parks or, Oldsmar Cares or whatever it is. We got some great corporate sponsors and people in this city. So to that, the only other thing I have is, and it was by accident, Sunday, the gym doesn't open till 8 on Sunday, and I was ready to leave the house at like right about 7-ish. So I thought, well, I'll just take a ride down to the pier and nice and quiet. I don't know if you ever get out in the morning and just how quiet and nice it is. So I cranked up my lawnmower. No, I didn't. But so I would go down to the pier at the park, and all of a sudden I start hearing this music singing across the water from Safety Harbor, and I thought, who in the heck is blaring their stereo so early in the morning? Light went on. I looked over to the left to Veterans Park, Easter sunrise service. So all the years that I've lived here, I never knew that thing went on. So I went over there. It's all 4 churches from Oldsmar that participate in it. They rent the park, and it was really nice. They did a really nice job. So maybe we'll be able to do something with them to help to see them all come together and do that. So at any rate, it was real nice. It was real nice to be there. So that's all I have, unless anybody, Tom, Al, anybody got anything?
I did have one thing I'd like to just mention from the agenda. I personally think Veterans Park is as nice a park as I've ever seen. And last year I went to the Remember Florida's Fallen exhibit, and I've seen the Vietnam Memorial, and I can honestly say, and I would implore anybody that is within earshot here, you need to go see this thing. It is as powerful an exhibit because of the depth of detail that it goes into on each of the young men and women that have given their all. I think everybody needs to see that.
That's it. You know, you make up a great point, because I've been the 2 years that it's been here, and you're exactly right.
Powerful.
Even as great as our park is, or as you said, the regular one, this doesn't sound right, just names, because they are names of people that sacrificed their lives. But to be able to read a story and see a picture and how young some of these kids are, and some of the memorabilia that's been, you know, mementos that have been put up there with each of the kids and the families, and it really, especially when you look at where they're from. I mean, they're right here in our backyards, and you're right, it does. And there's probably, I don't know how many there are, 50 maybe?
Too many.
How many?
350.
Oh, on all those things that come here. Wow.
It's
powerful. It is. You just stand there and just, it makes it a little more real, I think, and heartfelt. So definitely, if you get a chance to do that, we'll try and promote it. So I'm glad you brought that up. Thanks. Yeah. Yeah, sure. If you can come up here so we can just hear you on the mic that I broke.
At this year's Remembering Florida's Fallen ribbon cutting ceremony, we do have a special honored guest, and it is badge number 494, Benjamin Bell, who served as a sentinel at the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier at Arlington. So this is going to be a very special time. He's going to have a display of some of the things, the logbook that he kept for every single walk that he the 21 steps, everything that he did. So he'll have a display.
That's great.
So we are honored to have him there.
And is that on our city, on our
What
calendar?
time is it at again on the 19th?
At 11 o'clock on Saturday, May the 19th.
And that's on our calendars, yeah.
And Tony, how long is the exhibit there for?
Bob Raymer did the same thing.
Yeah.
Good guess.
What's that? I didn't hear what you said.
I think the exhibit's there for 9 or 10 days. Anybody
Is that
know?
right, Tony?
Just checking.
Point being, please find a way to go see it.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Perfect.
18th. 19th. 22nd.
What was it?
Nopke with Curlew Hills Memory Gardens, who's the caretaker and guardian of the exhibit, will put it up the 14th until the 22nd at the Oldsmar Library. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks. Nope. Thank you.
Thank you.
Anything else for the good of the cause? Meeting adjourned.